gotten back from Vegas, and you covered MMA 155
Yep.
and all that stuff. Real quickly, what's been going on since then?
In the world of MMA, a lot. There was an event last weekend, UFC 156, Aldo versus Edgar. Jose Aldo. It's Jose for anyone else in the world.
Jose.
He goes by Jose, so
okay.
we'll play along here. Jose Aldo defeated Frankie Edgar by unanimous decision. It was a 5-round fight. Pretty clear-cut victory. Little Nog, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira beat Rashad Evans in kind of a snoozer, unanimous decision, 3-round fight. And Bigfoot Silva defeated Alistair Overeem, which was a little bit of a shock to me. TKO, 3rd round due to punches, dropped him and kind of put him out. So that was the most recent event. We have a big one coming up, UFC 157, Rousey versus Carmouche, which will be the first women's fight in UFC history.
Really?
And they're headlining the card, so it's a pretty big deal.
That is a pretty big deal. How's Tim, by the way?
Actually, I just saw Jade today, talked to her for a few minutes, and he's doing good. He's hasn't been in the gym a whole lot, still trying to recover. They're doing a lot with the house, things, personal stuff going on. The nose is fine, the nose is cleared. Ribs are taking a little bit longer to heal up, but he'll be fine before we know it, and just waiting to hear what's next, really.
Good, real good. So, so the next fight, the UFC 157, the women's card is the headliner, and who else is on the card? You know?
Oh yeah, we got. Actually, like I said, it's the first women's fight in UFC history. It's for the bantamweight title. They basically handed Ronda Rousey the women's bantamweight championship after the closing of Strikeforce, basically. So she's the bantamweight champ without fighting in the UFC. A little odd, but she's fighting Liz Carmouche. Dan Henderson's fighting Lyoto Machida, which is just a fun fight to see with some implications in the division. Uriah Faber's on the card. Josh Koscheck's fighting Robbie Lawler. It's just two big kind of wrestlers that are going to slug it out on the feet, hopefully. So that'll be a fun fight more than anything. No real title implications or anything there. Just a fun fight to see. So that's coming up. UFC 159 will be John Jones, Chael Sonnen. Huge fight. It's going to be in Jersey. We're going to be there. I'm still in the process trying to get a press pass, which would be my first credential for a major event. So
really?
And try and pull that off here. Fighters only. If anyone's listening from Fighters Only.
They are kind of neat, those credentials, and you know what? And then you save them forever. Like
heck yeah.
Last Friday night, I went to I covered the Penn State Ohio hockey game at the Giant Center in Hershey. And I got the little press pass that says all access with my name on it. Oh yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I can't ever use it again, but I save them just for the heck of it,
I have a bunch of the local shows, but obviously nothing on the caliber of a UFC as far as covering it press wise. So it'll be interesting.
I remember back in the day, I used to have things like credentials for the Phillies. And when I go cover the Phillies, I save all that stuff. You're not kidding. You probably have everything you had in Vegas too, didn't you?
I have a box from each year where I just kind of keep all my mementos and stuff. So eventually the closet will be full of office boxes, and everybody's like, "What the heck are these?" But
well, someday your kids will appreciate that.
Maybe. They'll probably be like,
whatever. Right. Anyway, so what else is going on? It's been forever since we talked.
I know.
You still managing Tim's gym?
Yes. We kind of took a little bit of a break through the winter, through his time away, my time away, so we're definitely picking up. We're going to change pace as far as classes a little bit. We're going to start offering like a weekend warrior class. Like if you're watching the UFC event, come in the next weekend. We'll show you how to do some of the basic moves. Get in shape, just kind of come in, learn. We're going to do that. We're trying to push women's kickboxing, more like a women's, self-defense kickboxing, just type of like safety, like almost like a self-defense thing. We're going to start pushing that. Tim's open for private lessons. Anybody, beginner, advanced, anybody that is involved in the sport, private lessons. Tim's offering private lessons. We have a couple guys that will be fighting out of the gym coming up. There's going to be a Cardin Williams sport, April 27th. Jordan Morales, who's basically our #1 prospect at the gym. He's 7-2 as an amateur, making his pro debut, so it's a big one. He'll be fighting a guy with a wrestling base, kind of a guy out of Pittsburgh, wrestled down that way. Tough kid, but we expect big things out of Jordan. He'll be there fighting. Julian Herring will be it'll be his 3rd amateur fight. He's 2-0 as an amateur. Heavyweight, heavyweight, kind of in between, but has all the talent in the world. Expect big things out of him, so they'll both be on a card coming up. A lot going on, always having a good time, always something.
You're amazing.
The funniest thing ever. We had
all the stuff that you do. I don't know how you have time to do anything.
I literally had interviews today, and then we were texting back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can squeeze another interview in, so I'm doing an interview as you're texting me to come here early. I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Well, and the reason that I asked you to come in early was because I had a late addition to the show, which nobody knows about. It was just confirmed. The gentleman's name is Sean Fitz, and he works for Lions247.com. And of course today, National Signing Day.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, so Sean is.
Ole Miss was having a big day, apparently.
Oh yeah, they signed the #1 guy in the country, and then the number
Or
number
whatever.
2 defensive back,
Yeah.
and oh yeah, they went from like 12 to 5 in the ESPN rankings, and oh, they had a
Notre
huge
Dame's
day.
still 4, so.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I'll take what we did, you know. But anyways, so Sean's going to join us after we get done with you, and we're going to wrap up the whole recruiting thing
Nice.
today. No surprises or anything at Penn State, but we're still going to wrap it up and you know and do some good stuff about that. So that was kind of why I tried to sneak in here a little early because I didn't want to put you off till next week because you know a lot happens in a week around here.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
so, but anyway, so you got the gym going, you got your websites going, you're still doing the Twitter thing. I see, what's with all the pictures of your dog on Twitter?
Hey, he's awesome. Tanner. Give a shout out to our dog Tanner.
He is a cool dog.
He's a little cute 1.5-year-old golden retriever.
And he's not little, by the way.
Yeah, he's like 75 pounds.
Exactly.
He'll be fighting lightweight here before we know it. He'll be trying to lug him around the house. We need to pick him up.
Yeah.
He's actually named after one of my favorite fighters, Evan Tanner.
Really?
Yeah, and he's tan, he's Tanner.
See, little known facts you find out right here on the Trophy Michael Show.
MMA is intertwined in every aspect of my life at this point, I think. So.
Yeah, obviously. Except for when you went to the pawn shop.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
that had nothing to do with
Not
MMA.
at all. No, that was just
but,
fun.
at any rate, well, hey, keep up the good work. We are going to keep in touch as always, and before the next UFC 157 comes around, why we'll do a big thing, and before you head to Jersey and all that good stuff,
Yeah,
we'll keep everybody in the loop.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
I'm here when you need me.
I know. Next time, I'm telling you, 6-inch seafood on Italian herb and cheese.
You have to call that one in. I'll be sure to bring them. Just call it in.
Oh, okay. That'll get you pretty far around here. Anyways, hey, that's our MMA insider guru, Tony Reid, right here on the Trophy Michael Show. And coming up next, we're going to check in with Lions247.com, Sean Fitz, and wrap up this signing day 2013. It's all on the Trophy Michael Show on ESPN Radio.